would you be interested in me doing a couple videos? But morning, Charlie. Morning, Tom's Food Factory. What's going on?
Good morning. She's somebody. This lighting.
Charlie was first, Tom, by a minute.
I'm glowing. Look, I look like Casper.
I was late. What an amateur. Dude, it says 9 a.m. on my laptop.
That hurt. What?
So on my laptop it says 9 a.m.
Yeah, but those are Microsoft minutes. They don't count.
Does that hurt?
And my Verizon says 9 a.m. So
does it hurt?
Lovely, polite young lad I am. Oh, Charlie.
You're just digging into. Does it hurt?
Okay.
No, sunburn doesn't hurt, but you're digging. Dang it.
You know, Cub, we don't have the internet cord plugged in. Will you go get it? Because we're at one bar and it will
cut.
Yeah, it says connections unstable. That is an amateur move. Actually, Cub got up early this morning and set everything up out here, so kudos to her. So if she forgot the one thing, that's okay with me. She set up StreamYard and everything. Pay's over here. Hi, Pay.
Hi.
Yes, she has paint on her shirt. Y'all haven't said anything yet, but it's only a matter of time. That is paint.
Yes.
Looks a bit fuzzy. Yeah, well, it could be the internet thing. We'll see if she can get that remedied for us. So the girls, Faye finally talked to her beau and got him to start putting baseboards down. And Mama started.
How to do baseboards.
She's learning how to do baseboards, and this is what the guy does for a living. So,
here you go.
He's not a very good teacher per se.
No, he is.
There we go.
He explained to me how we make a flush, like a flush joint.
There we go. I'm connected. Okay. Try cleaning your glass. So anyway, they started putting baseboards down. The wife and Pay started painting the ceiling in the kitchen. So
dining room.
Yep. So all that's moving better. Oh, thanks, Charlie. He says it looks better.
Take it.
So that's all moving forward. So today, if you all remember, was it last week, Brother Ric Galindo suggested that we do pistachio pancakes with chocolate sauce. Monica. So Cub's already starting. What are you doing, Cub?
Mixing up a fork.
What's in there?
Pistachio.
So Brother Ric suggested the pistachio pancakes, and that sat on Cub for, I don't know, all week. So when I asked him yesterday, surprisingly, they said, Cub says, "Ooh, we're gonna make those pistachio pancakes." That Rick said. So that's what we're doing.
No. We don't pour it in here. Will you give me a cup?
So
Just set it down.
the two.
No, check out more.
So Pay was like, "I'm gonna do sourdough pancakes," and Cub asked, "How do we do this?" And they figured out how they're going to make pistachio pancakes. I don't know if there's a recipe, original recipe, or if this is
my recipe,
or if this is their
improvised
collaborational improvision.
This is there. Let's throw some stuff in this bowl and see if it works.
Well, I have the pancake.
Yeah, so Pay has a sourdough list, like recipes section, and so she has a pancake recipe, and I can tell you it's pretty darn good. I gotta say though, I have to watch how much sourdough I eat because I felt like crap yesterday. She made a loaf Friday, and that, and then pizza for 2 days. I was the brain fog was so thick that I was a mess. So I did break out the Camp Chef griddle just for giggles. It actually helps hold the Wagner in place better. So then, hopefully, if it works with pay, then maybe it'll help Rusty not throw things everywhere. I got to put a dig in somewhere.
Well, it's not my fault. You got it on a metal rolling bar that rolls across.
Okay.
So you see, it's not Rusty's fault.
No. That's only happened once. Whenever I tried to flip the salmon the other day.
It happened before, the week before, or
Not as bad as it did with the salmon.
The salmon was worse. What's up, Scotty? How are you doing, my friend? Boys, it's good to see the grandbaby back. We've had similar experiences, so I completely understand. I know exactly the feeling.
Okay.
So it's a good feeling when you get them back and they're safe and healthy and all that. And it's scary. It's scary when that first happens. The unknown and all that crap. Yeah. I'm with you, brother. I know. That was a long time ago for us, but.
So on other.
Yes.
Topics,
so pay.
So the sourdough pancakes, I fed it last night. I fed my sourdough starter last night, and then this morning, about 45 minutes ago, you let it sit for 30 minutes. You use a cup of sourdough discard or active starter, and then which discard is just what you would throw away.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. Why do you have a discard?
Because you don't want a huge starter because then it takes longer to ferment. I have a big starter because I don't use it every day, but so you feed it. Let's say you have a cup of starter, then you feed it a cup of water and a cup of flour.
Okay.
Then that makes 3 cups of starter. So then the next day you throw out a cup and a half, and it's
or you use it
as discard. So it's just what you would throw away, like you throw away half of what you have whenever you feed it.
Okay, so your discard is either basically you're making room
for new stuff to feed your starter.
Okay, so it's kind of like us where we go to number 2, and
exactly.
then we can eat more.
Right.
Okay, does that make sense? So she has her sourdough starter, right? She fed it. Well, then a day or 2 later, she has to pull stuff out just like we do number 2.
Every day.
And then she can feed it again to make it grow more.
It's to
so
keep
basically,
the mold away and to keep it healthy and good to eat.
But instead of throwing it away, you can just use it, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So
you can use it. You don't have to throw it away.
This is made out of sourdough discard. So what I would have thrown away is what I used to make this, and then same thing with the garlic knots and the chocolate chip cookies. That was all discard, but that I used instead of throwing away.
Which one did you turn on?
Both of them.
So isn't that how the blog started?
Sort of.
And Flubber.
Yes, but we love both of them. So then I added a cup of heavy cream and a cup of good morning.
Morning, Steven.
Heavy cream and a cup of oat milk because we didn't have regular milk, and then 2.5 cups of flour, 4 tablespoons of sugar.
Now, quick question.
1 second. 2 teaspoons of baking powder or baking soda, a teaspoon or 2 of salt, and 2 eggs with 2 tablespoons of oil, and then just mix it together, and then add your flavoring. We did like a 1/4 cup of pistachio flavoring. That was
A 1/4 cup? Wow, that seems like a lot.
Well,
That seems
So-
like way a lot.
But you
yeah,
can't
but if you
taste it.
if you substitute the water, like that amount of water, that's going to give you more flavor, more of the pistachio flavor.
Well, and this is such a subtle flavoring. I
Yeah.
can't taste it now.
Okay.
We started out with 2 tablespoons, and
And
then
then I
poured
said,
in.
hand it to me.
Just like, when adding vanilla or something like that.
Yeah,
I
I
only got
added a
vanilla.
splash of vanilla to
And
bring
it's
it out
only-
more.
A teaspoon or 2 teaspoons. I couldn't imagine a 1/4 cup of vanilla in.
It would be very vanilla heavy, which would be probably good.
But I added some vanilla to help make it
Yes.
better. And then
Okay.
I let it sit for 30 minutes so it all ferments. I'm very excited because my sourdough things have been getting more sour, which means the fermentation is good. And I actually got the stamp of approval last night from the garlic knots from Jordan and Nolan.
There's not enough garlic flavoring to me. But I like it.
She wants it in the garlic knot dough
Yeah.
instead of
And
Yeah.
on top.
The butter
Chunks
on top.
of chunks of garlic.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And then the cookies,
Those
Jordan was not a
dang
fan of
good.
the texture, but I got approval from them.
Those.
So she made. I
Are
came
you-
downstairs and
are
Are
she
you
made.
gonna put something on this thing?
She had made
Yeah.
sourdough chocolate chip cookies, and she's like, "Here, you got to try this." And I was like, "All right." So I had 2, because you have to give them in pairs. They're sweet, and they were good. They were really soft, and they were really
I
good.
should have let them go a little longer, I think, or do something different. But yeah, we're just gonna use it like regular, and then come. Do you want to sprinkle some pistachio?
No.
You want to sprinkle
No.
pistachio?
That's what on top.
You don't want them inside.
No.
There's supposed to be some inside, I think.
Yes.
So you could sprinkle them on top now, and then when you flip them, they'll be on the inside.
Yep.
And then you can use the bigger chunks for garnish. So I was going to ask, have you noticed a difference between like milk substitutes? If you don't use 2% milk, you use buttermilk or almond milk or oat milk,
I typically always use regular, like whole milk
whole milk.
or 2% milk either.
Okay. Well, there's a little difference, fat content.
Right. I typically just use those. Most of my recipes that I've done don't contain milk. It's water. So,
Okay.
but I mean, I don't really see a big difference in what I use.
Could you use like a different thing, like a Sprite or a beer?
I don't know. I haven't experimented too much because I'm still working on perfecting it. And like getting my loaves right. Because I'm still having trouble with my sourdough loaves. They're not, my crumb isn't, which is what, a crumb is what the inside looks like whenever you cut it open.
Okay.
So you want it to be bubbly and soft to press, and you
Yeah.
want hollow knots at the bottom.
So I noticed the last one you made was still kind of
Doughy.
doughy in the center,
And
but
that's the first time I made like sandwich bread.
yeah, you made like a sandwich bread style, so it was not as hard and not as dense,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked it, especially with a bit of honey.
Yeah, I think next
Not
time,
like the candy bit of honey, but honey on top.
Bit of honey. That's one of my favorite candies in the world.
I think whenever I do them,
You have to put the meat on.
I'm gonna let them cook a little bit, and then
Put that on the top.
I think next time that I do a loaf, I'm gonna try to cold proof it.
Okay, so what's that?
So I would make the loaf. I'm using Miranda on TikTok. She's a sourdough micro baker, so
Oh.
she sells her sourdough.
Oh, okay.
She does this one recipe for a regular loaf, lets it sit for 20 minutes, then does stretch and fold. So you're stretching the dough to build the gluten. and then you're folding it on top of itself, and then you let it sit for 6 hours, and then you shape it into a ball, and then you put it in the fridge for 10 to 12 hours, and then you let it get to room temperature, score it, which is just putting the fancy lines on top, and then you put that in the oven for an hour.
Okay.
30 with the lid, 30 without. So I think I'm going to try that next time, just to try to talk to and see.
Okay. So it would be really cool, I think, if you started a playlist on your channel of all your sourdough stuff. My problem with it would be like doing something that takes like 2 days. Like I have a hard time trying to video that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like if I did a what's up, Andy? If I do like I did a chicken video that I haven't even edited yet because it didn't turn out the way that I wanted. The cook didn't, so I gotta figure out whether I want to post it or not. I mean, I want to post it, but I did a soda marinated chicken where I took 2 different kinds of sodas, marinated my chicken overnight, and then cooked them to see what I could get. And the result was not what I wanted. So the part B to the video didn't happen because I didn't get what I wanted. So anyway, I just kind of, by the second day, I was like, okay, well, this is in. And then the next day, I almost forgot where I was going with it. So what you got on there, Peg?
Just some regular Bob Evans links.
Yep, regular. A couple wanted sausage with their pancakes. No? Peg
She did.
I did.
One of y'all did. I was late last night.
Full breakfast type meal this morning.
It was late. It was like 7:30.
Yeah.
Failures make good videos. Very good point. Very good point. And I guess if you put fail in the title and across the thumbnail,
Okay. So
because
we're
people want
having an issue.
the drama. What?
So
Turn your heat down.
no, it's the nuts. So we'll have to put them on. And add
I
a
think
little bit
you'll
more.
be alright.
What happened?
The nuts are burning.
Oh.
So we
The
might
heat is bringing
have
out the oil from the nuts, and it's just making it cook faster.
So what we might have to do is add a little
Listen
bit
to the
more
scientist over
sourdough
here.
on
Look,
top,
all right.
more pancake mix on top to taste
Or
it.
just put it in there.
Well, it'll still burn.
Well, taste one and see if it has enough pistachio flavor, and then you know how to do whether you even need the nuts in there.
Put it on something. It's hot.
Well, I got a tray back there with parchment paper.
Is that for us? To
Yeah. That was the whole point of trying to have it ready.
Yes. I'm not putting that in my mouth.
So that'll tell you whether or not you need to do that. Whether you even need the nuts in it.
Just sprinkle the nut afterwards for a garnish.
Yeah.
That's what Nolan was saying, but I'm thinking if she likes it in there,
Big.
then do like half a spoon, the nuts,
You can
half
top
a
it over.
spoon.
Yeah. Okay. So it's mixed in there. Okay.
I know it's so hot.
So you were talking about next week doing a sourdough coffee cake.
I think it tastes like regular pancake.
You don't get much pistachio.
Right. I don't know.
What's up, Keto Mike?
Well,
Hey, Mike, how's it going, buddy?
No, it's regular.
That's wild because you guys had the pistachio in there.
Mhm.
Can you grind up some of those pistachios even finer?
That's as fine as I go.
yeah, they're fine.
Put them back in there and see if it'll grind up finer because it should, and then it'd be like a powder.
It is.
That is a powder.
Okay, well, I don't know.
I have an idea.
Yeah. I think what Rick was talking about, what Brother Ric was talking about was like pistachio jello pudding.
Yeah. some like inside.
Yeah, like the pudding mix inside the pancake batter. But we're trying. Brother Rick isn't in yet, but it sounded like they had a big fundraiser for Brother Rick last week there in Texas. Sounded like it went pretty good from what I saw on videos and whatnot. He's got cancer in his throat,
Right.
and they were having a fundraiser event. So maybe the problem is they're ground too fine, and there was larger chunks, you'd be able to taste them.
Well, I have an idea.
Okay, so tell Tom your idea.
1 second. All of these just going.
All right. So what's your idea?
Like Rick was saying, like a
Well,
pudding.
Yeah, so I think that's what he was talking about, was like a pudding. Honey Badger, what's going on, brother?
So I'm taking the pistachios and adding the flavoring and making a paste.
Oh, okay.
Just all in the middle.
And then kind of swirl it or put it in the pancake, like when you first put the pancake down, swirl it in so it looks like a cinnamon roll type deal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. So, James, we're talking about sourdough stuff. So if you got any questions, feel free to ask, because Pay's like, we were talking about making some videos for her channel.
Just a quick question, Pay, is what's the sugar content of that syrup? Is it
0.
It's 0, okay? Because the sugar would definitely burn on that wriggle top if you
Yep.
doing that. Having the added oil and stuff in the nuts, it would probably burn worse than the original pancake.
So we were talking about creating like a little playlist and me helping her do her videos because it is a process.
And like I have a video, but I edited it and I was working on editing it and then got so far behind on like schoolwork and just put it to the back burner. But hopefully.
So the idea is we would show like where she's at the point where she's got to discard and then use the discard or feed it, and then what she does with the discard to make it usable.
Well, it's all usable.
But instead of saying this discard, you're going to make something with it, and then feed
You
the
can look
sourdough.
up, like sourdough discard recipes, and it'll show like you can make crackers, goldfish, Cheez-Its. You can make like everything you can think of. You can make out of sourdough discard. Like,
But there's not a difference between sourdough and the discard, right?
no sourdough.
Because if
discard
you're
is
using it,
just what
it's
you
not
don't
discarded.
use.
Right. If you're using it, it's not discard.
Discard is just what you typically would throw away.
Whatever you take out to use to feed it.
Yeah, so if you throw it
Yeah,
away, then
before
it's
you feed it.
discarded.
Yeah, if you
But
throw it
if you
away,
use it, it's just sourdough.
right?
No, so it'll still be so discard is unfed starter.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
So
Okay.
that's why you throw it away before you feed it. It's because it's not fed.
Well, wasn't it fed previously though?
Right. So there's a rise and then a fall. So with sourdough, it'll rise over 4 to 8 hours, depending on the heat inside of your kitchen or wherever you have it. So it'll rise, and then once it's at its peak rise, the highest point in your jar, that's the peak. That's the best time to use it. And then once it falls all the way back down to where it started from, then that's all discard. And you can tell if it's super runny. Like, you know how I'll tell you
How
my
it looks like it
sourdough?
separates.
Well, not that it separates, but how it looks really runny, like pancake batter, like this.
Yeah.
That's discard. If
Okay,
it's
so
really
after-
formed, it'll
so-
be like thick pancake dough.
Okay.
So after it rose and it falls,
Then that's discard.
okay,
The
that makes
entire
more
jar
sense.
is discard.
That makes more sense.
Okay.
Honey Badger's rehydrating sourdough tonight.
All right. You have to tell me how that goes. I've never rehydrated it.
Well, how did you get started with yours?
I just put a cup of flour and a cup of water together.
Oh, so you made yours?
Yeah.
You made your starter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Threw half of it away every day. Took 2 weeks for it to get completely fermented. And
So
then
I think he bought. I think James bought like $1,000 or 1,000-year-old sourdough starter rehydration kit.
Mhm.
Like I think his was like 1,000 years old. Like from the starter was made 1,000 years ago, and he got a piece of it. I could be wrong. Probably am, but it's okay.
no, that's a real thing.
Yeah, I mean it is.
Because they can last forever if you just take a little bit of care of them.
I know Cowboy Kent Rollins does. He used to do a lot with sourdough. He had a little crock and he put a bandana over it and leave it in his wagon, and then he would do stuff with it while they were out on the trail. I think it's really cool, but man, my body hates it. I mean, it tastes fantastic, but my body hates it.
Yeah.
Absolutely hates it. I like everything she makes. I just got to be like, I can only have a slice or two and not half a loaf.
Right.
But so what is there in the sourdough realm that you haven't made that you would like to make? Other than the...
Well, okay, I want to make I want to make naan bread, flatbread, focaccia, a lot of different snacks that I can have. So, and then I also saw a recipe for granola bars and a bunch of things like that.
James says a viewer that lives in a lighthouse sent it to him.
But there's a bunch of things I want to make. And then coffee cake, I'm excited to make.
I haven't had a good coffee cake in years.
So it'll...
Whenever I have a coffee cake, I got a problem with, I like to scrape the crumble off the top of it and just eat that top layer of cake and not even care about the rest of it. I like the top layer with the crumble.
Yeah. And then I like taking the cake. I like taking a big slice, a big square of it, setting it in a bowl with milk. Oh, yeah, that's what I like.
See, I use milk for cooking, and if I happen to have cereal, I use cereal. I never use milk for like pouring in a cake or dumping my cookies inside. I never use milk for any of that. I just simply use it for cooking or for a bowl of cereal every once in a while.
Yeah.
I can't drink milk like just a glass of milk in the morning with my sausage and eggs. I can't drink milk.
I can't do that.
It's very hard for me to do that anymore. If I'm just soaking something I shouldn't be having in it, like cake, carrot cake, I'm just saying cornbread. Oh man, a good thing of cornbread and some milk. Like again, stuff I shouldn't be having. Then it's, I feel all that crap the next day, and it's terrible. We had pizza. We ordered this Lido's, and it's this pizza place, been around for a long time.
That's a place that has all those different sauces you dip your pizza in. You can get like cups.
Down on Furlong?
I don't know where. I know Tamara and Sean come in with it all the time, and there's
Huge box.
big boxes,
Yeah.
little 2-ounce souffle cups with all kinds of different flavors for dipping sauces and stuff in it.
Maybe we never get all that.
Yeah, I never do either.
We just get the pizza, and if you go to the restaurant, they serve it on lunch trays. Like the pizza comes out and it's the size of a lunch tray.
Yeah.
Instead of being round, it's rectangle.
Oh, okay.
And it's good. It's really good. But man, I eat too much of it because it's cut in squares. So you're like, I ate 4 pieces. That's really only a slice and a half, right? And so you end up eating way too much, and then with all the starch in it, just jacks me up. But So the non bread, how would you do that? That's a little bit different than a cake mix or like a pancake mix.
The way that it was like listed in the recipe is that you do like the same like. It takes a long time to do. Like it'll take like a day or so to rise. It rises for like 16 or 18 hours. But then you roll it out and you cut it, you pan fry it.
Okay.
So you do it in discs and then you throw it on the pan.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I want to make it really bad. I'm on this kick of wanting to make everything like homemade. So I've thought about making butter, and then
Why don't we start with ghee?
ghee.
Yeah, ghee's easy to make.
Well, I know, but I want to do like.
Here, come.
Because in my head, if I make it homemade, one, it'll be cheaper because I can just buy bulk and then make things homemade.
Sometimes it's cheaper.
Like, there's this girl I follow, and she does like homemade instead of like homemade. It's a play on words, but
Wait, homemade?
Homemade, yeah.
Like HOE?
Yeah.
Like she puts it actually on a hoe,
or
like
you're a hoe?
No, it's like.
Or does she use a hoe?
No.
Or is the hoe like reference to a garden? Like I'm confused.
The hoe. So.
There's a lot going on with
Instead
this.
of homemade.
Yeah.
It's a homemade. Homemade. So the M is out.
Yeah.
And it's just for wordplay.
But is she a hoe? Or does she use a hoe?
No. It's just wordplay. I don't know her personally to say she is or isn't, but it's just wordplay.
Because that's kind of confusing.
Well, girls call
you're
each
just trying
other
to make
hoes.
too much out of it, Lee.
I think so.
Girls call each other hoes all the time.
Really, that was a bad thing when I was in school.
Well,
In my younger days, it was a bad thing.
But, so anyways, she makes like Yoo-hoo, homemade. She does like
No, that'd get me in trouble.
Yeah.
ranch. But she does it for her kids and stuff, so she doesn't have to spend a bunch of money on like homemade ranch or
Yeah. We used to do that too.
So
Yeah.
and then I saw one lady and she made like a bunch of stuff out of like one pack of oranges or like a pound of apples or something.
Yeah, we used to do that too.
So
When you guys were little.
Yeah, and like I want to do that kind of stuff. So
But you also have to watch, like sometimes though, like when rotisserie chicken. You can go to Sam's Club or Costco and buy their rotisserie chicken for what, $6?
$5, $4.99.
But you can't even buy a chicken out of the case that's uncooked for under $10.
Right.
So it's a whole lot cheaper to buy the rotisserie chicken than it is to buy a chicken and then cook it.
Right.
Now, hey, I got a question. You say you want to make non-bread with this. Isn't all of this stuff bread? How can it be non-bread, no bread in it if it's made out of bread?
N-A-A-N.
It's like pita chips.
Yeah, they're like pita chips.
It's
So
a
it's
type of bread that's super fluffy. It's more of
so
a
non
Greek
is
style.
a word. It's like
N-A-A-N.
it's not N-O-N as in no bread. It's
No,
N-A-A-N.
N-A-A-N.
okay. I have no idea.
It's a Greek style bread.
Okay.
If you get like Sam's Club has their non breads, they're about this big, and you use them dip,
A lot of people
like
use
in
it for
hummus or
hummus, spinach dip.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
So
I would have saw that, I would have just think this is just no bread in it, so it's healthier or something.
no, non
No.
is
You can make
it's
like
a pita without being slit in the center, and they're itty bitty.
Yeah.
It's Indian, Charlie says.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
I'm just not familiar with that term. That's all.
I think pita's Greek. I don't know.
Naan is good for making pizzas. It is. Kind of like a flatbread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically flatbread.
So the flatbread is kind of oven baked, where the naan is kind of griddled, like a fry bread.
Like this.
Yeah.
Only not as fluffy. It's more dense.
Okay.
And so then you toast it on both sides. The inside is just a little bit.
They're kind of like thick tortillas.
Like a
We're-
flour tortilla?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're losing him. We'll have to get some naan bread or have Pay make some naan.
No, I got it. I'm getting it.
Yeah.
I'm just
the
like I
whole
said.
mix has.
I'm not familiar with the term or that type of bread. When you said non-bread, I thought that meant there was just no bread in it at all. So it was for people who couldn't have bread.
Look at this fella.
Uncle Steve.
I'm actually wearing my
Hey,
Uncle
Steve.
I'm wearing my Uncle Steve's hat today.
You are.
Woohoo!
You're gonna wear your shirt.
So Uncle Steve, this recipe is suggested from Brother Ric.
I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah. I was just talking my brother was in town last on Thursday night, and he was talking about how much he doesn't like Old Bay, and we just got to rambling about stuff, and we got talking about Old Bay, and so I gave him some Gator Shake to try, and I gave him some of the West Coast Shake. He really liked the West Coast Shake, so I got some I'm going to take up to him when we go up, because he was flying. He didn't think he could get it through airport security.
Also, Uncle Steve, I will be purchasing from you soon. I'm almost out of thick meat, Lucky Shake, and I'll need a new dessert shake because I don't know how much is left because my roommates and I absolutely love it. We add it on coffee, on cookies, on hot chocolate. Yep. So I will be ordering from you soon.
Yep, I was taking inventory yesterday and getting a list together.
And I need a magic rib for me to try.
Oh, you haven't tried the
I
magic rib?
haven't. No, I've tasted it. In my hand, putting the shake out of your bottle in my hand and tasted it, but I have not actually used it yet. And so I need me a bottle of that. So whenever you send up your order, let me know so I can throw you a couple bucks and give me a bottle of ribs. Because whenever I do my 4th of July barbecue cook, I got 4 people I know of that are already wanting a rack of ribs, and I'm going to try that for them.
Okay.
I don't like peppermint, but Cub loves peppermint. Uncle Steve's asking if you like peppermint. She's nodding, yeah.
Because he made a holiday shake that, from what I understood, was off the chain.
You know it's good. Peppermint, hot chocolate with the shake in like the whipped cream.
No, he had peppermint in the dessert shake, and Johnny Mag said it was off the chain. So, yep, Steve, I'll get an order in and to you this week. He said he'd send you one. Rusty just tripped over the door. And I mean that the whole door.
No, he hit the.
What's this?
I think you get more like.
Oh, I do get the flavor in it.
Do you want to try a little bit?
There you go, Pat. Ooh.
Instead of cinnamon base, it's peppermint base. Ooh.
Cub's kind of smiling.
That could be really good on your peppermint bar.
Oh yeah, that'd be good on. I don't like peppermint, but that would be good on a lot of stuff. Cool. That's really sweet, Pay. I don't know what you did to it. It must be that syrup,
Yeah.
because it's pretty sweet. But yeah, so I turned my brother on to.
Cellulose gum.
That'd be good on ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple like sugar subs in there.
Dessert shake is fantastic on popcorn. I know when we did it for that barbecue comp, I don't know how much turnaround you got or how much got sold, but we really pushed the dessert shake and the Cajuns and the Gator. Everybody loved it, so I don't know what the how much business you got out of that, but hopefully you got some. Let's see. Hey, you're making a bunch of pancakes.
Well, it is a double batch.
Ooh, I'm gonna hurt tomorrow.
Well, we're not keeping all of them.
No, send some off.
We're sending most of them off with restaurants.
Okay.
Because Pam has been wanting to try sourdough, but it goes so fast in the house.
Yeah. So since Steve's in, how does your friends like the? What's their favorite one? Your roommates.
I think Casey loves dessert shake. We've used it for the last 2 years. On hot chocolate. She's added it to her signature hot chocolate.
Ooh, the bacon with the sweet and spicy.
And then
Ooh.
I got Jordan, my roommate, to try fig meat, and she really likes fig meat. But I think our roommate, like apartment favorite, is dessert shake because we use it on hot chocolate, and they drink hot chocolate for 2 months straight around Polar Express.
Oh yeah.
So they use it all the time then.
So Steve did a cooking demo yesterday, and people went crazy on bacon with sweet and spicy.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm thinking that like thick cut bacon on a smoker with magic ribs would be freaking amazing. Man, now you got me thinking. So where was the demo at, Steve? Was it like at a Buc-ee's, an Ace Hardware? That'd be kind of cool if you was doing a demo at Buc-ee's. I tell you, man, every time I go to Buc-ee's, I sell at least 1 bottle of rub. The last one I was in was in Texas, actually. And I bought one of each. No, I take it back. They were out of the original. So I bought the other ones for the people we were staying with. And there was a guy there, and he was looking at all the different rubs, and he was like, I don't know. So I started talking to him, and he was a native, and he bought the last bottle of original that was on the shelf there.
That's such a cute show.
And
I need to go back to that.
We were talking about it. He's like, oh, I guess I got to try it. I was like, dude, you'll love it. And so, yeah, he bought the last bottle of original.
That's cute.
So every time we go to the one in Florence, South Carolina, I always sell one there too. But so
It's like a reach it.
let's see. So Pay, you also had your wisdom teeth out. Yeah.
Hey guys. Yeah, those got taken out on Tuesday.
Shouldn't you wait until you finish college for that?
Well, they didn't do me much good having them. So we're gonna try without wisdom. Oh, you.
So she was at one of his mom and pop retailers. Awesome, man. There's Faye with her chipmunk cheeks.
Yeah. Very funny. I thought I would be able to go to work on Fridays and, do the whole thing and business as usual. No. I'm still taking pain medicine, ibuprofen. I took Tylenol this morning.
Peys.
Oh, is that me with my ice packs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't mind me.
Yeah, that'll be nice for Ohio to get a Buc-ee's. It's somewhere around Dayton. It is. I've heard I-70, 75 interchange is where I heard that was going in. What's crazy is Rock Hill, the town I live in, where the Panther Stadium was going to be, Panthers backed out. They started the infrastructure, and then they backed out and left. Buc-ee's had approached the city of Rock Hill, and said, hey, we would like to come in right there. And Rock Hill, the city said no, which I think is dumb.
Right.
but they didn't want that much traffic. Was the thing. They didn't want that much traffic in the area because we are south of Charlotte, and during rush hour, it is terrible to get basically from like we're 20 minutes south of Charlotte, and once you get to the state line during rush hour, it is bumper to bumper. Yeah. So.
But yeah, so I thought I could go to work on Friday.
They said in Huber Heights.
And I could not. I was laid out on the couch, cuddling my sick bear, which is a Care Bear.
Huber Heights off by 7. Ooh, that sounds good, Steve.
Then I still have pain.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck tomorrow, but I'm going back to work as regular scheduled. I start class tomorrow.
Ooh. So Steve did pork tenderloin, steak, wings, and bacon and shrimp. So
Do you want more
that's a heck of a demo. It's a heck of a demo. Yeah, we're planning shrimp boil coming up, Steve. We're definitely going to need some stuff.
What else is he gonna say?
Honey Badger said he drove home after getting his wisdom teeth out.
Well, the thing was, I was loopy, like, afterwards, but I do remember, like, I wasn't, like, funny. I was just, like, mad, which is kind of funny because I'm not really angry often, but Cub was driving me home, and I just got really mad because she wasn't doing what I said to do.
Well, you don't very often have people yanking teeth out of your head. I'd be mad, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just kind of was like, don't touch me. And then I sat there, day one, cried for like hours because it hurt, because the anesthesia wore off. And then I was just taking Tylenol and ibuprofen every 2 hours. Now it's like morning, afternoon, and like when I go to sleep. But I have dissolvable sutures, so they should just like take care of themselves. So.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
She really hasn't been that bad. Like, we
Day
thought
1,
she was
2,
gonna.
and 3 was bad.
We thought she was gonna be like a, all like diva-y and babyish, and she really wasn't bad with it.
I would just sit there and cry, drink my juice, eat my mashed potatoes,
Now,
and sleep.
the boyfriend had sympathy pains.
Yeah, he stayed home for
So
2 days.
he
and
called
nursed
out
me
of
back to
work.
health.
He called out of work the first 2 days to take care of baby girl.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, it's kind of stomach turning, I know.
Well, I also had Sick Bear, so at night I would cuddle Sick Bear, and I wouldn't let him touch me.
So the story behind Sick Bear is this is a Care Bear, Tenderheart Bear from the original like 1983 Care Bear line. So it's mine from a kid. I would have been like, what, 6? So Care Bears were a big thing, and when Pay was little, when she was a baby, she went misdiagnosed for, I don't know, 6-8 months of. We were in and out of hospitals because she cried all the time. We couldn't figure it out, and it turned out they kept saying it was colic. Well, I damn near knocked out 2 doctors because they told me it was colic and there's nothing you can do with it. They couldn't tell me what colic was. It's just babies cry a lot, and I was like, bullshit. There's something wrong. This kid's screaming. There's something wrong. We finally found out that she had severe acid reflux. So depending on where she was at, like which angle was whether the reflux was high or low.
Exactly.
And the motion and whatever, and she was allergic to soy and milk. So
kind of limits your options on food.
Yeah, so we had to buy this expensive can of stuff, and
Tommy was the same way. He had really bad reflux, and we had to get the special formula for him.
And then so one of the things that would actually calm her down was I convinced her that this bear had magical powers.
It
and,
does.
And every time that she got sick, she would just cuddle it harder. Squeeze it harder, and then she was able to go to sleep and able to, kind of use that to...
I didn't believe him for a while.
Yeah.
So, because I was like, I'm crying, like, this doesn't work. Da, 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 da. So he would have to, like, take Sick Bear from me, talk to it,
well, she was
bless it, and then I would sleep fine.
Which I don't remember that, but
no,
she was like a teenager, and she's like, Dad, it doesn't work. That's BS. And I was like, all right. So for like a day, she was miserable. And then I said, you want to try it? And she goes, yes. I gave it to her. The next day, she felt fantastic.
No joke. No joke. And so I was like, I'm 21 at my big age. And I'm like, I think I need to get Sick Bear. So the day before Monday, my wisdom teeth, I go upstairs. I get him out of my closet because I don't sleep with stuffed animals like
anymore.
Yeah.
Because she's got the boy.
I have a hoodie, but so I dug him out, and I was like, "This is what I will be cuddling with." And he didn't believe me. He was like, "Oh yeah, like you'll forget one night." I think last night was the first night I didn't sleep with him, but he sat beside me. The other night, he goes, "Yeah, like I tried to like hold you, and you moved me to grab Sick Bear in your sleep." And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Tamara, she didn't have a bear or stuffed animal that she used for comfort.
Mm-hmm.
She had a little blue blanket.
Yep.
And there was just something about the edges of the blanket. The blanket itself was your regular cotton, but the edges of it have like this little satin trim that finishes off the top of the blanket. And she would hold that satin trim between her thumb and her first finger and just rub it back and forth.
My wife still does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She has a ribbon.
She has a piece of a blanket that she does.
And whenever the blanket deteriorated, Teresa took some scissors and cut off, 3-inch by 3-inch square that had the satin part in it. And Tamara carried that even to college. She carried that thing with her.
My wife's got a piece of a just like that from a blanket that I don't even know what blanket it was, but when it fell apart, when the blanket was done, like tore up or whatever,
right?
That was the piece that was left was that ribbon, and so she still has it.
I have Pinky and I have Ellie.
Yep.
Pinky is my satin cotton pink blanket, and Ellie.
So does it have the illegal substance in it?
Yes.
No, that was called Lucky Bear. That was the green one with the shamrock on the front.
Yeah.
Or the Dope Bear was one of the newer Care Bears. I'm kidding, Rusty.
Okay.
He's giving me this look like what? Like confusion. What? I'm like, no, that was fake. That was like one of those where they came up with the don't give an F bear, and it has a black bear with a skull on its belly.
It's just mean. That's all.
Yeah. It was made up. Made up. But
yeah, all the cartoons I watched, I haven't seen them one.
No, but they did revamp Care Bears, and they had the Care Friends. So it was like lions, elephants. My brother was into he had an elephant one. I think he had a lion too.
But the funny thing about Sick Bear, like, I was at school and like Jordan saw I had books because in elementary school every year you made a book.
Ooh, that maple sausage smells good.
It does.
And so I think it was second or third grade, I made a book about me and Sick Bear traveling and doing something, and he was like, "Sick Bear, what is that?" And now he finally saw what it is, and he was like, "Dang."
1983. Is that AIDS?
AIDS, yeah.
AIDS bear. I don't remember the AIDS bear.
He was very popular in Africa.
Well, at that time, what was the guy's name? Ryan White, maybe? Why do I remember that?
I don't know.
I smell that maple. That smells good, Peg.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, I thought you needed me to come help you take it unloaded.
Okay. So have you published your book?
No, that stays forever in my room. I need to get back to writing. I have a blog. I haven't really been writing. I've been really busy doing stuff.
Yeah.
And it'll be very busy this summer.
So I got a guy.
Something about that.
The guy that I went to, the pastor. That I went to his ordination, whatever. He's writing a book. He's got it written, and it's actually getting published. So the girls have very, very strongly suggested that I write one not only about like all the experiences that I've been through, but also about some of the different dad 101s, the lessons I'm learning, and stuff that I'm coming up with, like talking points for my F3 group and whatnot. So,
because like I know me personally, my roommates, they may not have had the same like life or dad 101 lessons I've had. Like my one roommate, we were cleaning the oven, or I was cleaning the oven, and I was like, okay, let me take the door off so I can sit down and not kill my dad.
And they didn't know the door came off?
And they didn't know how to do it. And so I was like, okay, well, this is how you do it. And then I'll jimmy rig stuff to the apartment all the time because our microwave will break. Broke twice. Or something will happen. I'm like, oh, we'll fix this, we'll do this, we'll do this. And so like I've been like, oh, well, like this is what we do. She didn't know like the stove came apart, like the burner and then the burner plate, and then that all came apart. So I showed her that, and then the new thing was the disposal, because we have a garbage disposal.
Oh.
Which, very nice. I never use it, because that's just terrifying. But also learned why Pop taught me how to hand wash dishes and why I can do them pretty quickly. That was a punishment for us to hand wash. If we didn't do what we were supposed to do, it was hand washing your dishes. And then instead of vacuuming, you hand pick up hand pick your carpet. So I still do that. I'll take an old hairbrush I don't use and just brush through my carpet. And then with the dishes, we ran out of dishwashing liquid, like for the dishwasher. So I added a little bit of Dawn.
No, you didn't.
And by a little bit of Dawn, I mean the container where you fill up the liquid.
Yeah.
That was filled with Dawn. And so I go out.
You didn't watch the Brady Bunch growing up.
No.
there, James. It's kind of like a
And turn your brightness down. Turn your brightness down.
pink, purple, maroon color. That come off Etsy. It's like some stickers or pins or something.
They're pins. And
Stickers.
so then,
I don't know how to turn the brightness down.
let me see.
It's okay.
And then after I go to my room for a little bit, I'm like, let me just double check, like make sure this. Or I went to go grab a drink or something from the kitchen, and I see all this suds pouring out, and so I start laughing because my roommate Casey is like Peyton. She's very much like the mom of the apartment at times, and so and I've lived with her for a year at this point. Now it's 2 years, but she was like, okay, like, no, we don't do this. Peyton, you can't just throw this in here because they do the same thing. No. And so we call her, and I'm laughing like hell. And she's like, Peyton, what did you do? I leave for a weekend. And then so the suds are falling out. I'm using all the towels I have to. So then I spend like 3 hours scooping out the suds, pouring them down the sink, taking hot water, throwing it on the suds, and then I'm hand washing all the dishes.
You're an idiot.
So my roommate's ex, he was like, yeah, I've used Dawn in the dishwasher too, and I've never had this issue. And I was like, well, it said dishwashing liquid, like I figured. And then I call Mom, and she goes, no, you need dishwashing detergent. Isn't that the same thing? And so I just stuck to hand washing. Here I'll use the tabs.
Again, their phone is just for social media.
Hey,
That would have been a good, like, I get what do they call it? Chat GPT?
Yeah.
I've never used, I don't know about Chat GPT. Is it an app?
No, it's a website. It's an AI web. So it's, you know how you can say, hey, or people say like, hey Siri, and ask a question?
Yeah.
It's that, but in a website. And you can ask it whatever to do assignments for you to take it.
Remember the picture I made of me in a toy box with a little toy figure with a barbecue pit? It's a couple weeks ago. Actually, a couple months ago on Facebook. And
I saw that was going around. I didn't know how
That's
anybody did it.
Yeah, and that was from Chat GPT. I just went there and I typed in,
Like Mama wants to use ChatGPT to make little spa photos of the dogs.
Oh, okay.
Like with the towels on. It's Jordan away. One or two eggs.
Ooh, I would like some eggs.
Do you want scrambled or over easy?
What is it? What was that? Chat GPT?
ChatGPT.
That's the website?
Yeah.
Okay. I know I've been hearing about it, but I didn't know how to.
No, thank you.
I didn't know how to get to it. So
Do you want scrambled or over easy?
easy. But I didn't know how to get to it. So I know like.
You just type in ChatGPT.
So I know some times I'll get on Google and it'll give me the first response will be AI says this, and then I'm like, oh, okay. But I didn't know if that was.
That's AI.
Well, I didn't know if that was Chat GPT.
No,
that's Gemini.
Because the one guy, James, I think I was telling you about, Cooking with Dave. He's got a website that is Dave's Kitchen Market.com, I think it is. And that's where you can sell all kinds of kitchen stuff, like reselling Tupperware or whatever. You can sell your cast iron cure on there. I don't know anything about it other than that's what he promotes. I've not been on there. I went like 3. I've not been on there to say that what it is, but he promotes it. But anyway, his channel started out with AI. Like he was going to Chat GPT, and it was actually, I think it was called like Chat GPT question or cooking. But he goes there and he asks it for the best recipe of whatever. What's up, Hog Wild? How are you doing, buddy? So he would go there and ask, give me the best recipe for, say, sourdough pancakes. And then he would make that recipe. And then if he has a problem where he doesn't have something, then he would ask it, well, if I don't have this, what's a good substitution? And so he does everything off Chat GPT. So I was like, oh, I didn't know.
A lot of college, not a lot, but some college classes actually want you to use ChatGPT and then do your own research and find the
Mine doesn't.
Certain colleges.
certain classes like criminal justice might have you do it.
We aren't allowed.
Ooh.
Any work we do
Load in the oven. Mine.
goes
Goodness.
through
So
AI check and sees how much of it is you and how much of it is AI,
Right.
and then it docks you for how much you use of AI.
Well, I'm
So
saying
if you use 80% AI, you're getting 80 points deducted off of your assignment.
okay.
Well, I'm saying Jordan, she's criminal justice pre-law, and she had an assignment for her capstone, which is like your senior seminar.
Okay.
And she had to use ChatGPT and find the irregularities.
Okay, this is an argument for another time.
Well,
So-
no, it's not an argument.
So Hog Wild's got a load of cast iron in the oven. Sweet. He does a lot of cast iron reselling. You girls don't know yet, but cool, man. I got a load in the live tank. It's about ready to come out. I think there's like 3 or 4 pieces in there. I can't remember. I think 4, maybe 2, maybe 4. I don't know. But there was a guy that commented on a video I did years ago when I seasoned on the gas grill, and he was making comment about seasoning on a charcoal grill. So I'm looking at doing seasoning on the charcoal grill. You ever done that? Or do you use strictly oven? Honey Badger just got the American flag Weber kettle.
Yeah, I've seen that going around. Actually, Home Depot, I think, was the only seller for it.
Walmart.
Oh, okay, well, whatever it was, they only had one place that sold it, and it went down to $99, and people were flying off the shelves at $99. I think it was regularly $149 or something.
It's $120 at Walmart.
It's $120 now?
Yep.
Well, then went down to $99, and there was videos everywhere of people going and buying 2 and 3 of them at a time.
Yep. Use the oven. We'll try a gas grill too. I did it on the gas grill. I did a couple Dutch ovens and
You
lids.
want any eggs?
Nothing.
And
I
I didn't have any trouble with it because the gas grill gets hot enough. Charcoal grill will get hot enough. It's just I've not done it on a charcoal grill yet.
Yeah, I wonder with the charcoal grill, you're gonna have an issue with maybe the smoke coming from the briquettes, ash flying around, maybe getting stuck to the seasoning on the griddle or the Dutch oven or whatever cast iron you're using. I'm wondering if those contaminants would make any type of a difference.
Well, the ash, if you're using natural draw, without a fan, it should be fine because your ash is just going to drop as it goes.
But with any type of, using the charcoal, the briquettes or wood or anything like that, just a simple act of opening up the lid and looking and checking on it is going to stir up some air. I just didn't know if that the contaminants would make any effect on the seasoning whatsoever.
Well, if I do it on my kettle, I've got the brown sear in there, and or I could probably put the basket and the pizza pan in there so that's a diverter.
Right.
And then then it just opens up more space. So then you're just running hot. I might do that. I might put the basket back in there and the diverter. That way I can because I got 2 or 3 pans and a mini skillet.
You gotta plate your pancakes.
Yep. You get to plate. But the gas grill, it works fantastic because it gets hot enough and it's just gas.
It's a whole lot better to do that than to heat up your kitchen in the summer months.
Oh,
by putting on the oven.
Yeah. Maybe fine for camp ovens or grills. Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those I might try. I'm going to try it and see. I just got to get off my lazy butt and do it. Is this for the boy?
Yes.
Scrambled eggs with cheese?
Yep.
Okay.
You're in my way. No, he
see.
gets the smile.
So what do you got going on this week, Rusty? You got did you have any cooks this week?
The only thing, let's see here.
Last
We did the salmon for our Wednesday night thing.
Yep.
I smoked 2 sides of salmon, and they came out really, really good. And then I made a smoked salmon dip with cream cheese and chives and garlic powder, onion powder. Just your regular ingredients you would use for a cream cheese dip.
Mm-hmm.
And that went out. So the kids and Teresa, they ate the whole entire thing I made. It was a really good sized bowl. It was gone in one day. They ate the whole thing immediately.
Okay.
But the salmon I picked up, one side was $26, the other side was $27, and they were marked down. So that was like $54 for 2 pieces of fish. And then I come here Wednesday night, and you showed me your packet that you got, and yours was down to like $14. I'm like, man, big difference in the price there, but it came out really, really good. Then Tamer brought some to work, and everybody at work was wanting me to make some more to bring to them. I said, y'all buy the fish and send it home with Tamara, and then I'll soak it for you.
Yeah, it's amazing how everybody wants it when it's free.
Exactly.
What's up, Daddy Dutch? How you doing, buddy?
But I got a big pack of the little brown burger patties from Sam's Club the other day that make perfect smash burgers.
Yeah.
And so if it's not raining, I'll be making those for lunch today, outside on the Blackstone.
Yep.
Big thing I had yesterday took so much time. I've got a 0-turn mower and my drive belt broke. And to pull down, to replace the drive belt, I had to drop my
On top?
clutch.
A lot?
And so I dropped the clutch, put on the new drive belt, got it working, and in the process of Tommy cutting the grass, the deck belt came off. And so I pulled out the deck belt, and it was all eat up in some places.
Ask Mama if she wants
So I put it back on the pulleys and said, we'll use it this last time so that we can just get one use out of it because I got to order another belt.
Yep.
Well, it made it through the whole entire yard except for the front of my yard by the road. I've got a really big hill that goes down. And ever since Tommy started cutting grass, I never let him do that by the road because you know the traffic that comes in front of my house. I've seen 7 people killed between the big turn that goes to my house and my driveway. And so in that 100-yard stretch, I've already seen 7 people killed. So my kids growing up, my kids were not allowed to play in the front yard. I mean, Tommy would not cut the grass by the road. I wouldn't let him. And here he is now. He's, 23, 24 years old. And I still say, okay, I'll cut that hill by the road. It's just out of habit pretty much. But, it's just a little strip. Thank you.
There you go.
And I got that cut. And as I was pulling off the left to go park the lawnmower, the belt broke on me.
Oh,
So
Sprinkles.
I got to go replace the deck belt now.
Where are they?
On top of the fridge.
So Hogwild asked if I ever use a sat iron for smash burgers. I have not. I have one sat iron that was my wife's mom's. They used it as a doorstop growing up, and I just haven't used it. I've been looking for a Walpock sat iron. That's like the only sat iron I really want.
And what makes that particular brand popular to you?
That one sticks out because I'm from Sydney. Walpock is about 30 minutes outside of Sydney.
Okay.
And that's, so I mean, if I found a Wagner one that said Wagner on it, I would really, that'd be awesome too. But I have not used a sat iron yet.
Because I've got a number 3 and a number 5. But mine sit on my back deck inside one of my smokers. And I've never used it as a press, but I've got 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I've just never used it for that purpose because I've got I've got presses.
Yeah, I have these cast iron panini presses that Lodge made. I've got 2 of those, and that's what I use is one of them. I've looked at the different burger ones and the pig one, and I just can't. I don't use them enough to convince myself to go buy another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know Lodge has got a circle one. They got 2 circle ones. The one's got like a 1/4-inch lip for burgers, and then one's flat like a burger press. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Walpock sat irons. Use the 8. Works great. Yep. I've seen them use. I've seen the guys use chunks of railroad, like the chunk of the track. Yeah, or an I-beam.
Here's cups.
Sprinkles.
Did you put the chocolate on it?
Yep.
Okay.
Look at it. Can you tell?
No. Oh. Well, I need a picture of that.
Give me your phone.
Those pancakes are really good.
Someone take pictures.
They are very sourdoughy. I like that. But
Take them on this side.
yeah, I whenever I go out and I'm finding cast iron out in different pieces, there's a couple of pieces I'm like, what they call them, the Holy Grail or whatever, like the ones you're really looking for. But then there's ones that I'm like, I don't need another 10 or 12-inch Lodge, so I would pass that up unless it was really cheap. Wagners, I'm kind of picking up some different Wagners. as I find them. I don't have a favorite, which is from Pickwa, which, if you don't know, Pickwa is about 10 minutes, 15 minutes south of Sydney.
Fun fact, it's where Cub was born.
Yep. And I grew up in a cornfield in between the two towns. And then Walpock was off to the west of us, northwest of us. So it's that's why I'm looking for those kind of pieces. So just because of location to where we grew up.
I'm gonna take a nap and then come back.
And as we all know, the Wagner Foundry finally got tore down, and they're I think they're going to put up some sort of housing or something in there now. But
Good baby.
so, all right. Well, what do you think, Cub?
Good job. Okay. I gave you guys the ones that have the spiral. What do you think? Pistachio-y?
I don't taste pistachio.
I don't either.
Really?
Yeah, not at all. It just tastes like a regular pancake. Not saying that nothing bad about what you did. I mean, it's a great idea.
There's a lot of pistachio in there.
Oh, I know.
There's extra if you
That's
guys put it on the
why
top.
I'm surprised I can't taste it.
We'll do all. Well, I'll catch you later, buddy. I think it's raining out here right now.
What?
No.
I thought I heard thunder.
I gotta go get my
Little
windows of my truck rolled up. My brother just borrowed my truck this morning. He was wanting a new 2025 Jeep 2 weeks ago, and he's got a hard top. And he had found somebody in Lancaster that has it's like a special removal ramp with a winch for taking tops off of Jeeps. And he also sold him a soft top to go on his Jeep. So we had to use my truck this morning to go to Lancaster to pick up the winch and everything.
Here's some ground pistachio if you want extra.
And he said whenever he got home, he was rolling up the passenger window, and every time it got all the way up, it'd shoot back down about a half an inch.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, I said, I got a 2-stage switch on my door. You pull it up one click and it shuts all the way. If you pull it up all the way, as soon as it hits the top, it comes down an inch. That way it just leaves a crack for air circulation.
Yep.
The Jeep used to do that, but it wouldn't roll. It would get down, but it wouldn't roll up, so we had to put a screwdriver in it.
Well, that's because the motor was out. I had to replace the motor in it.
So,
But okay,
anyways,
1 to 10 pancakes. What do we think? 4. 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I like them. I get the sourdough. I get that artificial sweetener that's in the syrup. So I get that is more overpowering than the sourdough. But I do get the sourdough, then that comes in. So that is a little off-putting, but I think it's a fantastic try.
And I get the sourdough flavor comes out. I'm really surprised I cannot get the pistachio, but it almost, I guess because of the pistachio syrup, it tastes like I got syrup on the pancakes without there being syrup on the pancakes.
Jordan found that whenever and like you guys saw, I put a good chunk of syrup on it. Well, I wanted to go get sprinkles, and the syrup was completely absorbed.
Yeah.
So I had to add more syrup. So that's probably the only thing is that they're super hydrated.
I think it's
Did
pistachio.
you put syrup on these?
No.
Oh, okay. Because
I think
they taste like there's syrup on them, but there's no syrup.
I think a pistachio pudding mix would help mixed into the pancake batter.
Right. So instead of the sugar,
Right.
use 4 tablespoons of the.
I think we might have to try that. But was Brother Ric right?
and
So we got to get more pistachio flavor. What did you think? You can critique yourself.
I know. I'm good at it. From what I tried, they were okay. I think the swirls were a lot better than like the regular pancakes because the regular ones I didn't get anything. But I will be getting cameras feedback also because I have stuff to send home with you. But I honestly will do more videos on the pancake mix because that is a great pancake mix. They freeze really well. I've added chocolate. If you add chocolate powder to it and white chocolate chips, they taste like the griddles. So I've done that. Before we get out, I do want your guys' opinion for Sunday. Father's
Do you know what
Day,
a sad iron is? Okay.
do you want a video on the coffee cake or cinnamon rolls or both? Really quick, because that will let me know what I need to make, and that so you guys can have videos on sourdough.
So sourdough videos coming up. Okay. So
I
Charlie,
just-
a sad iron. I thought Cub would chime in, but she's like, I'm not sure. Basically, it was a cast iron. It was you would put it over top of your wood burner stove, and it would heat up, and then you would use it to iron your clothes. Growing up, I didn't have any, but my wife did, and they use it as doorstop. It's very, very common doorstops. We've got one in the house. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
The iron, it's in here. Will you get it?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it looks like.
We also don't know if it's in the thing.
The things have gotten moved since
Let me go look. So Pay, keep talking.
Okay, so yeah, in the comments real quick. 1 for cinnamon rolls, 2 for cookie cake, coffee cake, and then 3 for both.
Okay. So this is a sad iron.
Oh.
And what it is, I mean, it's an iron. So there was a tray that this would sit in, and the tray would get hot because you'd sit on top of your stove, your wood burner stove, and then as you needed it, you put a little bit of water down, and then you would iron your clothes.
It's always hot, that's why it's sad pickles.
Yes. So then you would use this to iron, and
right now.
this didn't get hot. What happened? Oh, I know what those are. Okay. So anyway, girls, so you would sit this down on the burner, get it hot, and then you would iron your clothes. Like I said, the wife used it as a doorstop, and I just haven't cleaned this one up. I don't know anything about it. You can't even really tell what it says on there. Like there's a number, but I think I don't even know. I have to clean it up really good, and I just haven't done it yet.
It doesn't say anything on top.
It's
So-
dirty.
Yeah. So this is what he was talking about, using it as to smash burgers.
Dirty.
But
I got sunburn right there. Anyways.
Okay, so I will look in the comments after the live to see what you guys want me to make videos on, and then those will be coming out soon on my channel.
yep, and we will get our order in for Uncle Steve, and
Is Uncle Steve still in?
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
It says help me, I'm crying. Make it stop.
No.
Oh. All right, well, let's get out of here, girls.
All right.
My vote is for coffee cake, considering it's your dad on Father's Day, and that's what he said he likes the best.
All right, coffee cake will be made, and then I will make that and we'll review it on Sunday. Cinnamon rolls I will do throughout the week or next week if you guys want that video.
Could we? Well, we'll talk about it later.
Adios.
Remember, there's 2 of us in cooking. Did you have fun? Did it taste good? Rock on. You guys are awesome. We'll see you next week. Later.
Have a great week,
Have a great
everybody.
week, guys.
Stay safe. Don't do drugs. Unless you're Charlie.